Okay, so Biology 101. Welcome to this series of videos about science. Learned some interesting things about biology this morning. I got this textbook, S1 International 4 Biology by Lecky. Science through third level, N3 and N4 student book. It's got a nice B on the cover. And just going through it to refresh my memory about biology. Now, biology, as we all know, is about living things. And I did study biology in high school, up to higher level. It was okay. I got an A in it, in higher. Biology is one of those subjects which I never really got into, to be honest. I don't know why. I mean, I could do it, I suppose, in my younger days. So, I mean, it's quite interesting. One of the most interesting things about biology is when you get yourself your own garden, and then you become more interested in it. Especially if you try to grow things. We've got a back garden. I tried to grow quite a lot of edible foodstuffs. Potatoes is the main one. Tomatoes. Also do a bit of crop rotation, so you need to know your legumes, which is your peas and beans. Different from your brassicas, which is your cabbage and cauliflower and kale, and your root vegetables, which is your potatoes and your carrots. And you group them into three, and you rotate them every year. So every year, different things are growing in different places. So, and then you become sort of interested in the things that are eating your vegetables, which other than yourself, for example, slugs and caterpillars, which are obviously biological creatures, snails, things like that. And then you become interested in how to prevent those things from eating your vegetables. For example, putting salt down on the little wooden partitions, which dissuades your gastropods, and things like that. So, and also, I suppose, compost. How to get the nutrients from your kitchen back into the soil via composting. So this is when biology became interesting to me. I suppose having a pet as well. You want your pet to be healthy, and you need to know what is going to try to eat your pet. For example, fleas, ticks, and those ilk. So from that point of view, yeah, biology is interesting. It's also quite nice to be able to understand your own body, I suppose. I've had skin problems over the years, which due to dehydration or unhealthy diet, whatever, going to bed early, things like that, helping your digestive system run properly, dehydration, alcohol. These are all areas where biology, I suppose, become useful in your adult life. But will they teach you this stuff in S1 to N4 biology? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But this is some of the stuff I've learned today. So cells. So cells are your smallest compartment of plants or animals. Very similar, plant cells and animal cells. You can see them through a light microscope, which is just a normal microscope. Basically, it uses light and lenses. Just here, please, sir. Thank you very much. That's great.
Yeah,
cheers.
Well.
Started myself some lunch, which is not part of the video, but anyway. So the word cell comes from Latin cellula, which means small compartment, which is very appropriate in my opinion. Whoever decided to do that was quite right. So the simplest cell is probably your animal cell, which you can get from the inside of your cheek, which just has the nucleus, which has the DNA in it and it controls the management of the cell. You've got your cytoplasm, which is the stuff in the cell, and you've got your cell membrane around the cell. There's no cell wall, apparently, in animal cells. I guess you don't need one. Yeah, your average human is made up of 100 trillion cells. That's one followed by 11 zeros. It's a lot of cells. Presumably these get replaced every 9 years or so, which is a factoid that, you know, you are not who you were because all your cells have replaced themselves. Anyway, longest cell in the human body is your motor nerve cell, which can be up to 140 centimeters long, joining your spine to your big toe. It's a long cell. You can stain cells using biological stains or iodine, so you can see them better. But that's basically your animal cell. Now compare that with your plant cell. You've got the same three things. You've got your nucleus, your cytoplasm, where the chemical reactions take place. The membrane, which decides what goes in and out of the cell. But you've also got other things. You've got something called a vacuole, which is a kind of a bubble of fluid inside. Which it helps to control make the cell more sturdy, and it can also prevent the cell from bursting if it takes on too much water. So vacuoles are quite important. You've also got the cell wall, which is just on the outside of the membrane, and that keeps the cell structure. In a plant cell, you also have the chloroplasts, which give plants a green colour, and that's where the photosynthesis happens, of course. Hence the name chloro, I suppose. What else have we got? I mean, that's basically it. That's your plant cell. Yeah, done all them. You can see onion cells are rectangular, and you can also see cells from a Canadian pondweed called Elodea, which apparently is quite nice to look at. Don't take my word for it. Get yourself some Elodea and look at it, and you'll see how nice it is. You've got other types of cells, which are quite interesting. You've got your yeast cells, which are Yeast is a unicellular fungus, so like an amoeba, I suppose, except it's not an animal. It's a mushroom of sorts, and these are similar yet different to a plant cell. It's the same as a plant cell, except it's also got little food storage granules, which I presume are for storing food in. And there's, I don't know, I mean, apart from that, they've got everything else: the cytoplasm, the nucleus, the cell membrane, the cell wall, and the vacuole. Now if we move to bacteria are also unicellular organisms, but they don't have, the big difference is they don't have a nucleus, do they? They've got a long circular chromosome which go around, and that holds the DNA. They might also have plasmids, which are tiny rings of genetic information. But whether they have a plasmid and a circular chromosome, I don't know. But that's how the DNA is passed on and passed on and passed on. So that's it. That's your 4 different types of cell. That's what I've done this morning. Been quite interesting. Bacterial, cell membrane, cytoplasm, cell wall, plasmid, no chloroplast, vacuole. Oh, there's no vacuole, no nucleus in the bacteria. Different types of bacteria you can see by the shape if you zoom in on them. I don't know if you can see them using a light microscope, but anyway, I think that's enough biology for one day. That's a good place to start and finish. So thank you very much for watching, and looking forward to seeing you at the next one. Take care there.